Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Friday, May 7th. We're going to be talking about some NBA DFS picks on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back on yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So yesterday probably wasn't the best day overall. Some of these picks probably would have changed if I had the ability to do so ahead of time once I figured out, some of these guys that we thought might be starting weren't starting. So we'll start off with the DraftKings side. Alex Caruso, $4,100, looking for 21 points out of him. Got to 21.5, so use a hit. Caleb Martin, $3,900, looking for 20 points out of him. Figured he'd be in the starting lineup. He was not, so he only got to 15.75 points, so he was a miss. Kevin Durant, who had been on fire lately, $9,900, looking for about 50 points out of him. Got to 38.75, so he was a miss. Only shot 7 for 21 from the field, 0 from 4 from 3, so just not a very good shooting day for him overall. Then we had Isaiah Roby, $4,500. I believe he did end up in the starting lineup, only ended up with 12.75 points, so he was a miss. Only ended up playing 21 minutes in this game. I think it ended up in a little bit of a blowout as well. Then last but not least on the DraftKings side, we had Dwight Powell, $3,500. Ended up with 37.5 points, so he was a hit. Over 10 times the value there, so a very good hit there, but really hit or miss day overall. But on the FanDuel side, we had Alex Caruso once again, $3,900, looking for 20 points out of him. Got to 21.5, so he was a hit. Then his shooting guard had DeAnthony Melton. He'd been playing decent minutes. Grayson Allen's out. Figured he'd be in the starting lineup. Didn't get there. Only played 14 minutes, so he only got 5.7 points, so he was a clear miss there. Just an unfortunate day overall for him. Kevin Durant, kind of already talked about on DraftKings side, just didn't have the best shooting day. We're looking for 53 points out of him, got to 39.3, so he was a miss. Same thing with Isaiah Roby that was on the DraftKings side. Looking for about 26 points out of him, got to 12, so he was a miss. And then last but not least, we have Zubac, who is $4,300, looking for 22 points out of him, got 25.6, so he was a hit. Really hit or miss overall, but today we have a 10-game schedule, so there should be a lot of value there, and we'll try to make up for it as best as possible today. So with that being said, we'll get over to the injuries for today's games. So we start off with the New Orleans Pelicans. You got Lasagna, Ingram, and Josh Hart all still out. Steven Adams, game time decision, unlikely to play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a regular game time decision. We'll see if he ends up back in the lineup today. Then for the 76ers, we just have Korkmaz out. I will go back to the Pelicans real quick and just say whoever ends up starting for Brandon Ingram probably will be a value play today overall. For Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown's still out. Robert Williams, Tristan Thompson, and Romeo Langford are all game-time decisions. We'll see who plays out of those three players. For the Chicago Bulls, they just have Troy Brown Jr. as a game-time decision. Looks like he has a chance to be back today. For the Timberwolves, Beasley and now McDaniels are both out, so Jared Vanderbilt looks like a value play today. And then for the Miami Heat, we got Victor Oladipo still out. Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler both listed as game-time decisions. So for the Houston Rockets, we got a whole list of guys out already. So we got Wilson, Porter, Nwaba, Gordon, Brown, and Bradley all out already. Daniel House, game time decision, unlikely to play. Christian Wood, Jayshawn Tate, Kelly Olynyk, DJ Augustine, and Thomas are all game time decisions. We'll see who ends up playing out of that big group as well. So definitely could be another value spot for the Houston Rockets today. Then on the Milwaukee Bucks side, Tupain is out once again, and PJ Tucker is a game time decision. Move down to the Orlando Magic, Wendell Carter Jr., Michael Carter-Williams, James Ennis, Chuma Okeke, Otto Porter Jr., and Terrence Ross are all out already. So looking at a similar line up for the Magic as we've seen recently. Mo Bamba definitely has a lot of value without Wendell Carter Jr. playing today. Then we go move over to the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward both out. Cody Martin and Devontae Graham are both game time decisions. We'll see if either one of them end up playing today. Then we move over to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Garland and Stevens are both out once again. Then for the Dallas Mavericks, Terry and Kleber are both out, and Porzingis is unlikely to play. Then the Nuggets looking about the same as they were last time out. Morris, Dozier, and Barton are all out. Najee listed as a game time decision once again. For Utah Jazz, pretty much the same. Morgan is out this time, and Azubuike has a chance to play, but shouldn't be an impact on DFS at all. Then we have three 10 o'clock games today, so that's kind of interesting. You don't see that too often. But for the New York Knicks, they have Vildoza. I'm not sure who he is. Must have just recently signed with the team. Him and Mitchell Robinson are both out. Quickly and Alex Burks are both game-time decisions, but likely to play. And then for the Phoenix Suns, we have Nader and Crowder out once again. Cam Johnson is a game-time decision. For the Los Angeles Lakers, we got Schroeder, LeBron James, Horton Tucker, and Dudley all out once again. And then Anthony Davis is a game time decision, but should be playing today. Then for the Portland Trailblazers, Zach Collins out as always. And then Powell, game time decision, who did miss the last time out. For the San Antonio Spurs, just Trey Lyles out once again. And then for the Kings, we got Woodard and Halliburton both already ruled out. Medu, Fox, and Barnes are all game time decisions. We'll see who ends up playing out of that group. But that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. Like I said, it's a 10-game slate, so a pretty big slate overall. Should be some value. And definitely a lot of news to keep up on over the day. We'll move over to DraftKings, though, and talk about my picks over there. So at point guard, I went with Armani Brooks. $3,900, looking for 19, 20 points out of him, averaging about 16 on the season, but there's not many people left on this Rockets team. He's going to be that main ball handler without Kevin Porter Jr. in this game, so definitely going to see a lot of minutes in this game. And as long as he has a decent game, he's definitely going to pay off for that price tag. DeLon Wright at shooting guard, as long as De'Aaron Fox is not playing this game, he has been golden, so not too much else to say there about him. And then small forward, I got James Johnson, $3,300. This could be Marshall, too, if he ends up starting. Both are pretty decent value plays, just depending on who ends up starting for Brandon Ingram. $3,300, you're looking for 16, 17 points out of him. It's pretty much what he's averaging on the season anyway, so pretty safe play there overall. Same thing with Jared Vanderbilt here, $3,300 as well. Looking for 16, 17 points out of him. That's by what he's averaging on the season too. And there's no McDaniels today, so he should see more minutes and should definitely pay off for that price tag. Then last but not least was yesterday's hero, Dwight Powell. And $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him. We've seen him get, 30-plus minutes, 30-plus points the last couple times out, so definitely in play once again today. But if you go with these 5 players on DraftKings for today, you'll have $29,000 left over. Just over $9,600 per player, so definitely a lot of room and flexibility to play up for some of these stud players, and then fill in with a value pick after that too. So there's a lot of good options out there today. I did consider Mo Bamba and Austin Rivers once again on today's slate as well, so they were just misses for me too if you want to go with either one of those players. But definitely a lot of flexibility out there for today's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So point guard, we got DeLon Wright. Like I said, as long as De'Aaron Fox isn't playing, he's just been lights out, and there's no reason not to play him at this point in time. So if Fox ends up playing, we'll switch him out on both sites, but until that happens, we're just going to keep on playing him. Then shooting guard, Armani Brooks. We already talked about him on the DraftKings side. Oddly enough, these two are switched from point guard and shooting guard on both sites, so he's $3,800, looking for 19 points out of him, so pretty easy for him today. Like I said, main ball handler, going to be playing lots of minutes. Then I have his teammate Anthony Lamb at small forward, $3,500, looking for 17, 18 points out of him. Not been doing a lot on the season, but when he's gotten the minutes, he's played all right. So just a cheap pay down option here overall. You could also look at his teammate Dalton Jeffries at small forward as well if he's in that starting lineup. Then at power forward, we went with Jared Vanderbilt once again, $3,600, looking for 18 points out of him. Good pay down option. He's going to be getting more minutes. Not too much else you can say about him. He's almost averaging what you need to get out of him on the season, so just playing a little bit more minutes, he should be a little bit better off than that. Then at center, we got Mo Bamba, $6,900. This sounds like a big price tag. 34, 35 points is what you're looking for out of him. He's been having some monster games lately, and he's a great fantasy point per minute producer, and no Wendell Carter Jr. out there on the court. He's definitely going to be seeing a lot of minutes. But if you go with these 5 players over on DraftKings, you have $35,200 left over, $8,800 per player, so definitely a lot of room and flexibility to pay up for some star players, whether it's the Giannis, Luka, anyone like that. You could pay up for Nikola Jokic, but probably don't need to today with Mo Bamba playing the way that he's been playing. Like I said, just a lot of different options out there. There's going to be some pretty good value probably coming out later today as well, so definitely a lot to keep an eye out on. But with that being said, these are my picks for today, May 7th, for both DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, I'll be listing all the news, injury updates, and starting lineups down in the comments below. If you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It truly helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers. Helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL. Helping you guys with your fantasy football teams. Talking all the different football news this offseason, like I've been saying. Going to have those NFL draft grades coming out very, very shortly. So if you guys are into that, definitely be sure to check that out as well. But with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this, as well as that fantasy football and NFL draft content that will be out in the coming days as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. Definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It truly means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.